Toyota came to India nearly 15 years ago. It established itself well with the Qualis and went on to consolidate its position with hits like the Innova and the Fortuner. But of late, it's been struggling with cars like the Etios and the Liva, cars they've tried to position themselves in the mass market. The company has restructured itself recently, and there's a new managing director to spearhead Toyota's operations in India. Mr. Naomi Ishii-san, thanks for joining us. It's been a pretty tough couple of years for you, and I think, I don't know, what's the market looking like right now?
We see the very big good sign from the market, particularly after the new government came. And for us as well, we see good sales results since the May this year onward. And also likewise, we are getting more profitability as well. So I think and also after the festival season, we are looking forward to receiving more order and the sales. So we are really on a very good track.
Great.
Yeah.
Let's go for a drive and talk more about your company.
Okay.
Japanese auto major Toyota made a strong start in India, but has now hit quite a few bumps. It has lost momentum in the last few years, mainly because its entry into the mass market has not worked out as planned. To get the company back on track, Toyota has put one of its top executives, Naomi Ishii, at the head of its India arm. So when I went for a drive with him at the company's plant at Bidadi, I started by asking him what went wrong with the Etios and Liva.
Number-wise, we are not doing very well as we expected or as we planned initially. As you say, one of our challenges is how to find out the customer who want to buy Etios, and the customer who is not enthusiastic about Etios is there, I think. But at the same time, there are the customers who are enthusiastic about Etios and Liva as well. So the matter is how to find out those customers who will become such kind of customer.
So basically how to convince people to buy the car.
Yes, and I think as you feel, the appeal of the exterior is not so fantastic.
That's right. I think it's a major issue is the styling. Do you think that's fundamentally the big mistake? It looks a bit too boxy, a bit too functional.
Sort of the feeling I have as well. But once again, the Indian market has the great diversified customer sectors. So I do not necessarily believe that there are one customer who really like exterior only.
Right. Do you think one of the other challenges was that you were coming into this segment for the first time and you had no past experience? So do you think that was a challenge as well?
That might have to be the challenge, I think.
And other challenges, quite frankly, localization. Obviously, you haven't been able to localize the products to a great extent, maybe 70–75%, whereas some of your competitors are over 90%. Exactly. Especially when the rupee depreciated. Was that a big challenge that put added pressure on you?
I think that was a big challenge, and I think if you take out the powertrain area from the entire vehicle, our localization ratio is not so bad.
No, but the powertrain really is the core.
Exactly, that is challenging.
And what are the plans on the powertrain? Because with TCAP you are doing a lot, but it seems a bit odd that you've got TCAP exporting a lot and you're not using it for domestic production, and you're importing the powertrain, let's say, for your mass models like the Liva and Etios. So the sense I get is the strategy needs a little bit of fine-tuning over there.
As you know, to localize the powertrain, you have to
very high volumes.
Very high volume, as well as you have to spend the R&D resources at the same time, because the parts by parts of the engine should be checked whether that can work here in India, utilizing the materials available here, tools available here.
Right.
That is a kind of one of the problems. So as you said, to localize in a very healthy manner, we need more volume.
Right.
That is a fundamental aspect.
But the challenge really is that the volumes have dropped for the Etios and Leva. I mean, I think you've got on the Etios 20% down 1 year, Etios and Leva, and 15% again. So that's a big drop in volumes overall. So are you now going to kind of, let's say, tweak your capacity to, let's say, be a little bit more efficient and operate at these lower volumes?
We have not given up yet at all to sustain the volume and also to sustain the business itself. So to do so, the sales and marketing are really working very hard together with our dealer friends.
So trying to push the volumes up.
Push the volume up, and also at the same time, the cost improvement. Cost improvement is a kind of our, strength. So by continuing that, at this point in time, even though the volume is less than the original plan, our factory is not so bad. We could adjust a lot.
Right.
Yeah. So from the business point of view, so we are on a good track already.
Okay.
Yeah. So but we have to make a profit. So we have to push the volume.
Push the more
we have to improve the product, and we have to promote the cost optimization as well at the same time. Yeah.
Again, sticking with the Etios, you talked about people who are happy with the car, but obviously, people were not buying it. The sense I get is it's a bit of an image problem. And two questions I want to ask is, one is, do you think that, putting it in the taxi market in certain regions, especially places like Mumbai, that's kind of hurt the image to a certain extent?
As far as taxi business is concerned, there may be the good point and the bad point at the same time. The good point is there, and of course, we can sustain some part of the volume. And the bad point may be, as you mentioned, we may have the image problem. But according to our dealer friends who are contacting with customers, putting the taxi image is not necessarily bad, because for some of the customers, that is a very good proof for the quality, durability, and reliability. Right. So that is making the cars potential better. That is also the fact. So I think
with the Innova, you've sold it as a taxi, and it's quite successful.
Yes, exactly.
And then that leads me to my second point, which was on let's say the styling. In fact, I think I'd spoken to Inui-san at the Auto Expo, and he said the next generation Etios, definitely the styling would be a lot more aggressive. Do you think this is one lesson learned, that you have to have more aggressive styling?
I think all the new models should have the aggressive and the better styling, I think.
Right. So you think Toyota has been a bit conservative over there?
Yeah, in the past we may be a little bit conservative.
Toyota will have to plan its strategy carefully to gain ground in the Indian market. And for this, it will have to fill the gaps in some crucial segments. More on that when we return. The world's largest car maker, Toyota, has been in India since 1997 in a joint venture with the Kirloskar group. It launched the hugely popular Qualis in 2000, followed by the Innova in 2005. While both these models are bestsellers even today, Toyota is conspicuous by its absence in some rapidly growing segments. In fact, it has only two products below rupees 10 lakhs, which is where the core of the market lies. So will it need to do a lot more here?
If we could have the more lineup under 1 million, 10 lakhs, I think we could have been better than now, of course.
Right.
Yeah, of course. But I don't want to say the if.
Yeah.
So I really have to look at the the reality on the market and the reality, the business availability for us, and the resources allocation to us on a global basis, from the global basis.
That's what I want to come to, and the sense I get is the biggest problem for Toyota in India is resource allocation from, let's say, your R&D. You haven't launched a real new product since 2010. Now it's been 4 years. Okay, Corolla has been launched, but I'm talking about, let's say, in the core segments. So
that segment will be the one of the core segment in the future.
Well, I think that's still a long way off. We're not China yet, but maybe in the future it will be. But is resource allocation a big problem? Because I don't think money is the problem. You just don't have engineers to develop the products because you've got so many other markets in the world to worry about, Toyota globally. So is this the big issue?
I think that there are very important issue. And I think there are several elements why we are in this condition. Of course, the resources allocation, R&D resources allocation from the headquarters is one thing, and at the same
meaning
time,
that there's not enough allocation of resource from the headquarters. You need more.
I need more.
Right.
Eventually, but at the same time, I was the general manager of strategic planning department last year, who are handling the global resources allocation.
Right.
The Toyota is in a little bit unique condition. Say, for example, compared to Honda or Hyundai and Maruti Suzuki, who can
they can focus more.
They can focus more in India because
you've got the rest of the world to worry about. You're one of the largest car makers in the
exactly.
world.
And
10 million cars.
exactly.
You've got America. You've got
exactly. And each country has its own, the regulatory, the application, environment, competition, so that we have to sustain those markets. At the same time, they have to increase the resources into India. So I don't want to admit, but I have to say that they need time to adjust their, resource allocation and R&D.
So what you're saying is then you need more focus on India.
Of course.
That's not been there right now.
Not yet.
Right.
But they are getting, focusing on India more and more gradually.
Right.
Because, as you pointed out, the Toyota was not necessarily 100% sure about the Indian market. They didn't know very much.
Right.
So
a little cautious. Step by step.
Exactly. And then after the Etios and Riva launch, they found some.
They got a bit scared, you think?
Yes. And now the India and India and Japan relationship is getting better and stronger and visualized very much, as well as
we've had our two prime ministers meet, which was
exactly, and also thanks to the lot of incident or event happened in India,
right.
The attention from TMC executives on India is bigger and bigger.
Right.
That's a condition. And also in this year I'm receiving a lot of TMC executive to visit here, to see here, to observe market and the supply basis a lot. So that I think consensus. How to utilize India as a part of the global Toyota.
So a lot more interest in the last few months.
Exactly.
Right. But do you think this is a good time for you to look at maybe having a small R&D setup in India? Because the sense I get is you have the money, you're ready to make the investment, you just don't have the people to carry out some of the changes. So do you think a small R&D base in India would make sense?
Before that, headquarters may have money, but we don't have money.
Okay. Right.
Not very much. But I think you're right. I think India has a huge market potential. The market potential mean the market size, and then maybe it will exceed around 10 million in soon.
Right.
Somewhere around in 2020 or 25 or 30.
Right.
Whatever. But at the same time, what attracts all the OEMs and the global mega suppliers are the capability of manufacturing here. So for me as well, of course the market size expectation is very attractive, but more than that, the capability of supply basis is much more.
Right. So that's pretty good.
Exactly. and it's getting better and better and competitive.
So that means your case for localization is getting stronger.
Yes.
And again, coming to the R&D side, do you feel that, if you had a local base, your small variants, your few facelifts, you could get it to the market much faster?
Exactly.
So can we see an R&D setup in India in the future, maybe? I mean, is there a plan, or would you like that personally?
And personally, I would love to have, but to do so, as usual, we need to get the consensus from all the stakeholders.
Right.
Yeah, and so, but I don't want to wait until getting the consensus from the stakeholders for the official premises.
Right.
So we can
start off with something
outsourcing and utilizing the existing R&D capability available in India, like an outsourcing company or R&D companies. There are many capable, consulting company or R&D company, so we can utilize that.
So the sense I get, that's a very un-Toyota thing to do, but you really want the result and you're moving fast to try and get something.
We need to show thank you very much for saying that un-Toyota, but that's true. But
right.
I think that is the only way to step forward without too much depending on the headquarters side.
Right.
So because I have to protect this company by myself.
While Toyota has to stand on its own in India, it does get some strengths from its parent that can be leveraged here. Find out more after this break. Let's talk about really the core of TKM in India, which is your IMV platform. That's where your easy profits are. That's really the success of the company. So is this going to be the backbone of the company in the foreseeable future?
Yes, the low IMV, I mean the Innova and the Fortuner for our company will stay unchanged. And from the market observation, the SUVs or MPVs, the demand will stay unchanged or will be bigger. Because of the usage of the vehicle in India, and also the diversified customers, the demand will really sustain the demand for MPV and SUV. Right. And the Toyota is a well-known brand for the SUV and the MPV strength.
Moving on to another segment, the Corolla. Now you've launched it in a segment, the executive segment. How important is this segment? Because clearly it doesn't give you great numbers. You don't even sell more than 1,000. Or is it because the Corolla is a global brand in Toyota's range that you see it important to bring it to this market?
Considering the future, once again, the price range and the product performance will grow. This is my belief. Yes.
And you want to be present in that segment in a dominant position, so take advantage of it when it grows.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Because considering the coming 5 or 10 years, what would be the changing driver of the market is basically 3 points. One is the fuel efficiency, because the energy security is one of the biggest concerns of the India.
Right.
So automatically the CAFE regulation will become tighter and tighter.
Right.
That's one thing. And second point is environmental driven in the product. And third is the safety.
So what you're saying is fuel efficiency, emissions, and safety are going to be your 3 core focuses.
Exactly.
And let's sticking to the emission side of it, hybrids.
Yes.
You have given a commitment to hybrids. We are in you've got a Camry hybrid. We are in one right now.
Such a nice car.
Yeah, it is very smooth. Are we going to see a little bit more hybridization in India?
In the future, definitely yes. But at this point in time, as you pointed out, the awareness of hybrid is very low, and accordingly, the volume of hybrid is very low. We are the only one seriously selling the Camry hybrid. But if you look at the Camry hybrid as a part of the Camry series, the hybrid portion of the out of the entire Camry sales is already 60%.
But do you think that one of the challenges for the hybrid is really the cost of diesel?
Yeah, you're right. And at the same time, what we have to think about seriously is the level of the exhaust emission.
Right.
The diesel have the challenges in its exhaust emission. So if the regulation become tighter, like Euro 6 or Euro 5 or Euro 6,
the diesel will have a challenge.
Diesel will have a challenge, and the hybrid can solve both of the problem. So I think it's a matter of the timing.
Yeah, for the hybrids to make some more of an impact.
But definitely, in the future, the hybrid will become the one of the main cause of the market.
Right. Just winding down, one of the last questions I want to ask you is really on Toyota's quality. I mean, that has been legendary. That is something which no one can question. We can criticize your cars, say that they're boring to look at, maybe even boring to drive, but one thing we cannot say is that they're not reliable. Even in a market like India, where the basic culture is one of not giving quality, is that a big challenge to still maintain the quality of the products here?
For us, quality is the core of the brand. So so we call quality first, safety must. To maintain that quality of the vehicle, we have a very good global system. We have always monitoring the key 5 KPIs. One is the quality, process, and cost, and also productivity, and human resource development, and safety. And these 5 KPIs have respectively each sub-KPI, which can enhance the quality operation as highest as possible. That's one thing. And the other part of the global operation is that we are sharing all the best practices found in each affiliates, so that we can maintain, or we can utilize the best the practice, not only in that affiliate, but also immediately on a global basis.
Toyota seems to be getting ready for an uphill climb in India. But as we ended our drive around the plant, I had one last question for the company's new boss. Ishii-san, thanks for that real fascinating chat with you. Sense I get is you're a man in a hurry. You've come here with a mission to really accelerate Toyota's growth in the Indian market. Obviously, there are challenges which we've talked about. But looking at India, about 2% of Toyota's global sales. Obviously, that's a very small percentage, and it's quite natural that getting the company to focus on a market that's so small from a global standpoint is one of the challenges. So, is it all about focus, and that you are now really going to focus more and get, let's say, more products in here?
Yes, definitely we have to have more a big scale of business here in India. But not only from the scale of business, but also there is a reason why Toyota has to work hard in India, because India has a lot of challenge, particularly in coming 5 or 10 years, to modernize, to globalize. So that's the area where we Toyota can really contribute to the society. And as a result, maybe the bigger business come later. But I think I don't want to, put the scale of business first. But I want to put the objective why Toyota has to be here. That is the only way to be sustainable for the future as well.
Ishii-san, thanks so much for talking to us.
Thank you very much. Thank you.